everyone, it's Monday night and welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. I'm Paul Hipkiss and we're joined by Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody.
Chris Browne.
Good evening.
Craig Courtney.
Good evening, everyone.
Alan Watton.
Good evening.
And last but by no means least, our special guest for tonight, I'm absolutely delighted to say, is the one and only Stephen Gleeson.
Who are ya?
Who are you?
So we have no Claire Giblin or Mark Meredith tonight. They're both off on their jollies doing what they're doing, and no Blues to talk about this week either. Obviously, no game the weekend, but plenty to talk about still. There's never a dull moment, is there? So in the last week, we've seen the return of Gary Rowett, and obviously, Stephen, I'll start with you first, and just tell us what it's like to play for Gary as a manager, and what it takes for him to come in and stabilise us, obviously, in 8 games and try and see us safe so we don't need to worry on that last game against Norwich.
Like we spoke before, obviously, I think it was a no-brainer kind of bringing Gary back in. We'll probably touch on it later, but I still think it's one of the craziest decisions I've ever seen in football when he got let go. So playing for Gary is pretty straightforward. Not a lot of grey areas. He knows what he wants from his team. He'll have them set up really well, hard to beat. And I think he'll come in and defensively he'll get the team very structured, so they're hard to break down and that. So, like say, when he came into us, it was a tough situation at the start, and he's kind of coming into something similar. So, I think first and foremost, he'll be looking for making the team really hard to beat and then go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Craig, the women had a good 2-0 win yesterday, I believe.
They did indeed, yes. Another step towards the continued push for the Women's Super League. It's 3 games to go now. So a couple away from home. One of those is a game in hand against the team that are second in the league at the moment in Crystal Palace. And we actually have Charlton, who are just below us, to play this upcoming weekend. So some tough games, but still opportunities. And it could, if results go away, it could mean that the last game that we play up at Durham is actually going to be the decider. So, and I've just realised not 3 games to go; it's actually 4. So with the game in hand, but no, it was good to get together again yesterday. Some great football played, and actually, shout out to the people that came down. It was just shy, or just over actually, of 1,100 again there yesterday. So an increase on the previous week in terms of attendees. Through the show, we were able to help out 2 families. So it was great to get them down there so that they could enjoy the game. And just beforehand, held the next meeting around Blues Matters as well for the ladies' game. So a lot of things are in the pipeline, and we continue to work with the club to see how things can progress over the next few weeks, but keep your eyes out. That last game at home is against Sheffield United. It could be key, and more details to follow, but we want to get as many people as possible down there supporting the women, and hopefully putting us in that great position to go to that last game where we can push for that title. Yeah. I think for me, obviously, the most important thing is obviously that Tony Mowbray has nothing too serious, and we can get him back in the summer. We do see him back at St Andrews in the summer, because ultimately he's still the manager of our club, isn't he? And I could still see him as the man to take us forward as well. But I don't think we could have possibly got a better person to come in, especially with Robbo with him as well. Alan, what do you think? What did you think when you found out that Gary Rowett was coming back?
Very, 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 very pleased. I think the situation over the last weekend when we lost, and Mark was looking very worn out and dishevelled. I would have questioned the idea perhaps a fortnight before of bringing somebody new in, because I was under the impression that Tony would only be gone for a short while and we'd be back in time. But once it became apparent that wasn't going to happen, it was impeccable, absolutely essential that we brought somebody in. And as you say, nobody better. We all go on about John Eustace being elbowed out at a strange time. Well, his was even stranger than that because he was John was always learning the ropes and doing well, but Gary was the real deal, and I remember I remember getting a text from my mate Don, who used to sit next to me at the golf club during a lunch, and I people were saying, "What's the matter, Alan? You look ashen faced." I couldn't believe it. I thought, Don's pulling my leg here. Gary, rabbit sacked. Unbelievable. It was just, again, his style of play and everything was personally is what I liked. I don't want to go. Everybody talks about playing attacking football and pretty this and exciting. No, I want to win. I want to watch winning football. I don't care. I don't care if they wear fancy shirts or whatever. They just got to win, and 1-0 is the result that I crave for. We can have 21-0s a year. I'm happy.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a results business. And Stephen, I guess, have you played in teams? I know obviously you played in a team like that with us, but have you also played in teams that have been asked to play out from the keeper and tippy-tappy around the edge of the box and, all this modern game now that everyone's trying to do? It's surely all about winning, isn't it? That's the main thing. Yeah,
I think football's kind of a bit crazy at the moment. Obviously, I think Pep's had a big influence on that as well.
Yeah.
With his City teams and Barcelona teams. But like you say, I think for a fan, I think winning's the most important thing. I know it gets to a stage where they're paying for the tickets and some fans want to see attractive football, but if you have to weigh it both up, do you want attractive football that loses or do you want just winning football? And I think that's down to it at the end of the day. And I also think it depends on the group of players you have.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't go in and ask players that aren't capable of playing out from the back to do it because you're just going to shift.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of considerations to take into it. Like I said, I think football has gone a bit crazy over the last kind of 5-6 years. It's all playing out from the back, playing through lines. If you kick it long, it's hoofball. But at the end of the day, I think it's a results business, which everyone's judged on. So you've got to find a balance, I think.
Yeah, mind you saying that, you was obviously there when Zola came in, weren't you? And I guess massive difference in training and on a match day, wasn't it, to what it was under Gary? Not just off the field, but on it as well, I guess, as well, wasn't it? Trying to play a different way completely.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is the way Gianfranco wanted to play football is the way I love playing football on the floor. Like I say, if it's in the air 60% of the game, I'm not happy with that, but it was winning football for us. Under Gary, it got us results, it got us stabilised, and as I say, it's how he wanted to play. We all knew our roles and responsibilities. Gianfranco came in, and like I say, for me, excellent, but we just couldn't win a game. We could not win, and it was persisted with, and I think that's when you kind of have to have if plan A ain't working, you've got to have a plan B, and like I said, I think Gary had that spot on, whereas probably the club and that probably didn't like how we played football, and it was a strange decision. Tried to change it up, and obviously it didn't work, and nearly got us relegated. So, like I say, you've got to weigh up everything, how the group of players you have, the teams you're playing against, and like I say, it can't be just one way all the time, especially if it's not working.
No, 100%. Mark Adams, I guess you were fairly pleased when you found out that Gary was coming back as well.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's a bit energised, I think. I think the whole fan base was pretty energised by that. I mean, I'm glad, to be honest, Paul, I'm glad Gary did mention that some sections might have been a bit hesitant because of the verbals and all the rest of it whenever he's come up against us. But that's water under the bridge now. We've got to all pull together, haven't we?
Whatever it takes. In this league. Whatever
it takes. I mean, as long as we stay up, that's the main thing. Whatever's gone on before and all the rest of it, let's just stay up and take it, see what happens in the summer. But yeah, I mean, like we've all alluded to, that I think we'll be in safe hands. I can't see us going down at all. I think I think we will have a bit of a bounce now. To be fair, I think
so.
we'll like first time round after the first game after the Bournemouth, the 0-0 at Wolves. I think we'll get some decent results and it'll see us over the line. I think.
Yeah, all I'm asking for is that we go to that last game against Norwich and we don't, we can enjoy it because we ain't got to worry about staying up on that last day. It'd be nice to do that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, can you imagine?
But I have got a feeling though that it's going to go to the wire. I just have.
Yeah, I just of all the opponents to play against, especially if they're going for a playoff place, you wouldn't choose them, would you? But what will be. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be an interesting end to the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Stephen, let's go back to the beginning of your career. Then you obviously started at a certain club up the road in the West Midlands. How did that come about then? When did you sort of realise that you was going to obviously make it as a pro player? I mean, it was three appearances for Wolves, was it, in 06-07 season in the league? And that was when you sort of got your debut for them. And at what point, what was it like back then? Was you kind of like, obviously as a youngster then, was you sort of being scouted or was you spotted or how did it come about?
Yeah, obviously. So I'm from Dublin, back in Ireland. I played for a youth team over there, schoolboy team, Cherry Orchard.
Yeah.
And kind of around 13, 14, kind of getting trials. So I've been to Celtic, Wolves, Ipswich. Actually, I've been to Villa on trial as well. And yeah, kind of it's a bit different in Ireland. So it's like junior share. So it's like 15. I think it might be A levels over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so had a decision to make. Obviously, got offered a 2-year scholarship and a 1-year pro at Wolves. And obviously, kind of from about 12, I was kind of done with school. I thought I had a chance, so everything was into football. So I moved over to Wolverhampton when I was 15, into their academy, into Diggs. And yeah, that's kind of how it started. Obviously, playing in the youth team. Had a few loans around 17, 18, and managed to break into the team. I think just as I was 18, it's actually a funny thing. I don't know if Robo kind of noticed that my debut for Wolves was in a playoff semi-final against West Brom, semi-final at the Hawthorns, and I came on right wing against Paul Robinson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll never to tell the tale.
He absolutely smacked me, and I was like, "Welcome to senior football." he let me go. Yeah, my debut for Wolves was in the Black Country Derby against West Brom in the playoff semi-finals.
Wow!
And then you have spells at Stockport County, Hereford United, and then you move on to MK Dons on loan, and then that then turns into a permanent move, doesn't it? And you're at MK Dons there for a good few seasons.
Yeah. I think the year I left, Wolves got promoted to the Premiership, and Mick McCarthy, who was my manager there, a lot of time before, he basically said, listen, even if we were in the Championship, you probably wouldn't play. Now we've gone to the Premiership, you definitely won't play. So he was basically just said to me, for the best of your career, I think it's probably best you probably move on. And it's the most honest, brutal, best conversation I've ever had with a manager. Like I said, I could have stayed there another year and been a Premiership footballer without kicking a ball. So just that kind of title, but I thought it was kind of time to go out and kind of start kind of making a career for myself. So I've been on loan to MK Dons, and although kind of a new club, I like to set up. Roberto Di Matteo was the manager, and got on really well with him. He wanted to sign me.
That's Bob Matthews in English.
Is it?
Roberto Di Matteo is Bob Matthews in English, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he signed me, and again another just crazy how football works. I signed for him, obviously MK Dons manager, and a week later he ups and goes to West Brom. He gets a West Brom job, so straight away I've signed for a manager, and a week later he's gone. So yeah, it's just crazy how kind of football works sometimes. I felt like ringing him and say, could you not have waited a week and just take me to West Brom?
I guess at MK Dons as well, you would have played with Dele Alli as well, am I right there?
Yeah, Delhi. Yeah, so Delhi was kind of as my kind of last year before I moved to Blues. He was in and around the first team squad, just breaking through. But kind of the year before that, training with us, and then my last season he broke through, and yeah, phenomenal talent.
Such a shame, isn't it? What's happened to him? And obviously
yeah.
We've all seen that interview with Gary Neville, I guess, and it was just so sad when I watched that because, in the 18 World Cup and the round between sort of 2015 and 2018, he was unplayable. He was absolutely incredible, and I remember him getting an unbelievable goal at Crystal Palace for Tottenham, and he was looking like he was going to go and be one of England's greatest ever players at one point, didn't he? And
yeah, it's such a shame because he's a lovely kid.
Yeah,
like I still live in Milton Keynes. I bump into him now and again. Lovely kid. Like I say, I haven't asked him personally what's going on. It's his obviously life, but definitely something's happened. And like I say, it's a shame because what a talented boy and what a lovely kid as well. Like I said, he had the world at his feet, and something's not gone. Something's not right there. But hopefully, as I say, even if he doesn't kick another ball, hopefully he is okay within himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Because prime Dele Alli now with Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice in that England midfield would be amazing.
It would, it would. And like I say, you look at Jude now, obviously, what he's doing. Hopefully people around him. I think he's got good people around him, Jude, as well. So hopefully his career just stays on the path it's going on. And as I say, he's got the world at his feet, that kid.
Another one of them players that people will be talking about in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, like the likes of the way he's going, he will be anyway. Like Maradona, he'll be at that level with like Maradona and Pele and, people like that, won't he? I think Ronaldo, that, so. But yeah, so then you play the 2013-14 season at MK Dons, and then that summer in 2014, obviously, we come in for you, and Lee Clark signed you, and you make that move from MK Dons to Blues. And tell us how that come about.
Yeah, so like I said, at MK, we had a decent team. We'd missed out on promotion, I think 3 times in the 5 years I was there, 2 or 3 times. And other than my first year there, every summer I had opportunities to leave, but I got on really well with the manager. I believed in the project, and every year I just thought, no, next year will be the year. And it just came to a stage where I was 25, and I thought it was good enough to play in the championship. And it was just one of them moments where I just had to make a hard decision. Had a couple of teams in for me, but the minute kind of Birmingham came in for me, obviously the size of the club, the history of the club as well, it was a no-brainer. As I say, as much as MK wanted me to stay and other teams were kind of trying to sign me, the minute Blues came in, it was the only place I wanted to go.
Yeah, and that summer as well, we signed the likes of obviously yourself and David Cottrell signed that summer as well, did he? Clayton Donaldson?
Robert Tesh as well, yeah.
Robert Tesh.
Yeah, there was quite a few of us that came in. Obviously, what happened, I think it was the season before when Caddy scored. Yeah, so obviously a lot of turnover of players in that summer. But yeah, we came in, as I say, massive club. Didn't start great under Lee. After kind of I signed for him, I think we just kind of didn't get on. And me personally, as I say, and I didn't play as much under Lee, and the results weren't great. So, like I say, and then when Gary came in, it kind of all changed for me at Birmingham.
Yeah, you didn't get on with Lee, you say, Lee Clark?
Not that I didn't get on with him. He was completely fine. Never had any kind of arguments with him. I don't know if I wasn't his type of player, which I kind of find weird because surely he would have known what type of player I was. But like I say, coming in, everything was, you're kind of going to play and that. And then I think 3 or 4 bad results and then kind of out of the team. But like I say, it's a manager's decision at the end of the day. He has to pick the 11 that goes out there. I wasn't in kind of the team before he kind of his last few games, and then Gary coming in, obviously, like I say, changed kind of my start. That was basically, I feel, my start in my Blues career.
Yeah, because a lot of that team that Gary managed to stabilise us under was actually signed by Lee, wasn't it? There was obviously your David Davis, there was David Cottrell, obviously at the early points as well, and Clayton Donaldson.
Yeah,
so and obviously Robbo as well, and Paul Caddis, and they're kind of, but they did sign some good players for us.
He did, yeah. It didn't, for whatever reason, it just kind of didn't work. I don't know if kind of the year before played a part in him kind of losing his job, but we didn't have a great start to the season. Was I surprised? Probably not. I wasn't kind of surprised that kind of Lee lost his job.
No, not at all. But then when Gary comes in, as you say, it just all changes, doesn't it? And we draw that first game under Gary 0-0 at Wolves, and then there's that night, that really special night actually against Watford at home where we beat them. I think it was 2-0, was it, or 2-1, 3-1? I can't remember.
2-1. 2-1, I think.
2-1, yeah. 2-1, yeah.
Yeah, Clayton got them both, didn't they?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, but I think touching on Gary coming in, I think off air we talked about the game before he came in, before the Wolves game, and we lost at home to Bournemouth. I think it was 8-0.
Yeah.
Which was obviously a disastrous day, one of my worst days in football. But for Gary to come in after that and go to Wolves, who were doing really well that season, and getting 0-0 up there, I'm pretty sure it was on Sky as well. A lot of pressure on the team, and him coming in. But like I say, I remember that week after, it was just basically, can we be solid? Can we go there and can we keep a clean sheet? Rightly or wrongly, he didn't care if we scored a goal.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get a reaction out of players, and he wanted a clean sheet up at there, and we managed to get it. I'm pretty sure Wolves were a much better team than us that day, but we stuck in, and we fought hard, and we got a point, and it was a start that we needed, especially after losing 8-0 with a manager coming in as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Any?
Sorry, Paul. I was going to say, sorry, Steve. I was going to say, after that 8-0, going back to the 8-0, what was it like in the dressing room afterwards? Was it like deathly silent? Was people, in each other's faces? What was it like?
There was a few. Sorry, my battery's just about to go.
Don't go. I didn't mean to offend you.
There wasn't. I know when the sending off happened, there was, I think it was Wes Thomas that got sent off, and one sec. Yeah, Wes Thomas got sent off, and I think him and David Edgar might have had a bit of a scuffle after that. But after the game, no, it was just, I think, embarrassment. A bit of shock, disbelief. It was just crazy. I don't think any team ever thinks they're going to lose 8-0, and especially in the Championship as well. It was just, really, really quiet. Really quiet after the game,
Yeah. Any early questions coming in for Steve and Chris?
It was David Edgar that got sent off, says Tom Richardson. How will Gary set up the team for next game? Nigel Mann wants to know. What do we think?
Is that me?
Yeah. Is that for all of them? But yeah, go on, Steve.
Yeah, like I said, I touched on, I think he'll get them defensively really sound. I don't know what kind of formations the club have been playing this season, but I think he'll go to a back four. He'll probably shore up the midfield as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a kind of 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 formation. It's mainly what we played when we were there. But again, it depends on what he sees in the group, what's the best formation for him and the best for the team going forward.
I can see one from Lilypad, actually. Did you play any practical jokes on any of your teammates at Blues? If so, who and why?
It was a great dressing room. We had amazing dressing room. There was always practical jokes going on. If it wasn't like the masseurs or the physios or whatever, it'd be on the players. Cots was quite lively in the change room. So you'd always try to kind of get him when he wasn't kind of watching it out. But Cots was really lively in the change room. So he'd be definitely one you'd be trying to kind of play pranks on and that. So But it was a great dressing room, amazing dressing room we had, and I think that's the main thing. I think that helped us, especially under Gary, was the kind of team spirit we had.
Yeah.
It was an amazing group of players, all kind of pulling in the one direction, and I think that's what kind of probably got us majority of the results, was just that fight we had for each other.
Yeah. When we had Paul Caddis on, he told us a story about when he put a load of bubble bath in the bath and it all like spilt over the top and went all over the floor.
Yeah, Caddy. And you always had to watch out for Caddy as well. He always like kind of playing tricks and that. But another kind of great lad as well.
Yeah.
Daniel said, I seen Gleeson at Moors and I couldn't understand why a great player like him was doing at the Moors. That's a nice compliment.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like I say, kind of after Blues, kind of went to Ipswich, then headed up north to Aberdeen, and had a terror. Really, I was away from my family. Kind of didn't like it up there, and I'd say for two or 3 years, really fell out of love with football. And I knew, obviously, COVID had kicked off as well, so I was coming back down from Scotland with no club. I knew Richard Beale, who was a coach at Birmingham when I was there. He was involved with Solihull and literally just asked, could I go into train? Went in and trained. Obviously, COVID got bigger and bigger, and kind of the leagues were coming back. And yeah, he just said, do you fancy it? And I said, yeah, we'll give it a go. And yeah, that's kind of how the Solihull thing came about.
Oh, that's good. So I'm obviously conscious of time. We're just doing an hour tonight, aren't we? So we've asked you, Stephen, to pick your 1 to 11, haven't we, from the players that you played with at Blues? So what formation are you going?
I'm going to go 4-3-3. Like I mentioned to you before, there's going to be a few. There's going to be probably 3 controversial ones, but I've based it on. I've gone for an 11 that I've played more with. Then obviously, as I say, there'll be one that stands out that I'm probably going to leave out, but it's just because I played with a player more for Birmingham than this player. But like I say, like amazing talent, and like you said, we had a chat before. It is very tough when you're trying to write down the players you've played with and try not leave people out, but you've just got to do it.
Yeah, go for it then. Tell us who's in next to start.
So this again, this was one of my tough ones. Obviously, Darren Randolph and Thomas Cusack, 2 unbelievable keepers.
Yeah.
Obviously, Daz I played with at Ireland as well. Phenomenal keeper. But I've gone for Thomas just because, again, I played with him more at Birmingham.
Yeah.
Absolute head case. But what an unbelievable guy, and obviously the career he's had as well. And I think he was really good for us as well when he came in, especially after losing Daz as well when he left.
Yeah.
Coming in like that was really good. And yeah, so I've gone for Thomas just over Darren.
Yeah, that's close, isn't it? That's debatable, that is. Very debatable.
It is. Obviously, Thomas kind of coming to the end of his career and Darren kind of in the middle of his career. It is tough. Obviously, Daz is an unbelievable keeper. He's gone on and done great things for like West Ham and that, and obviously Ireland as well. But like what just picked it was just Thomas. Obviously, I played more for Birmingham with him, but 2 amazing keepers.
Yeah, let's go right back next.
I think there's only going to be one. It's Caddy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What's that? Centre back. Another controversial one. I'm going to go for Morrow and Shots.
Oh, okay.
And again, really another amazing teammate. Robbo, I feel so bad leaving him out, but it's literally just based on I played with them 2 more.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll let him know.
There's no need to let him know. He's watching, so he already knows.
Yeah. No, but Robbo, what an amazing pro to have around. Even me coming into a club, to have that kind of experience there, especially when the times are tough as well, to have someone like that in and around dressing room was amazing. And every time he was called upon from any manager that he played for, the performances he gave were amazing, and he's had an unbelievable career. But literally just gone for them two, because I think I played more with them two. But yeah, Robbo was a tough one to leave out.
Had more with Shotton, did you, than Robbo for Blues?
Yeah, I think I played more games with Shots and Morrow than either Robbo and Morrow or Robbo and Shots. So like I said, just on that alone, that's the only reason. But like I say, what a man to have in the dressing room as well. Like, unbelievable guy. Great to see him doing well with his coaching and back around Blues as well, because having that experience around the club will only be beneficial.
Yeah, 100%. Left back?
There's only really one again that I can kind of go for. It's only kind of Groundsy. He never really had kind of any competition there. Or I think Royce Wiggins came in once, but he suffered a nasty injury. But majority, I played that bare number with Groundsy, and again, such a reliable player. As I say, probably not everyone's cup of tea, but he was 100%, gave 100% for the club. And like I say, in my time there, he was the best left back I played with.
Yeah, I thought he was underrated a bit. You know, he was consistent.
He was very. I thought he was very consistent. Like I say, didn't miss many games. I think most managers that came in played him, trained well. Like I say, it's not that there wasn't other left backs about. It was just that he had the trust of the managers that were putting him in there. So very, very, very solid player. And as I say, I thought he was really good for us.
Yeah,
I never understood the stick he got. You know.
No,
I never understood it, because he didn't do much wrong for us. I don't get it.
No,
I think that's just football fans nowadays, isn't it? Like, especially with the social media and that, like, you're not going to please everyone. As I say, once you know you're doing your job to the best of your ability and the manager has trust in you, I think you've kind of got to put all that to the side.
Yeah, 100%. That game when Royce Wiggins got injured, that was the one when David Davies scored, wasn't it, against Villa, and took his shirt off the whole of St Andrews.
Yeah, it was me chasing.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, it was me chasing him when he was going towards the Villa fans. Yeah,
I remember you chasing. Yeah, I see you not running after him.
Yeah, good day. But yeah, terrible injury Royce got that day. I don't think he's played since.
No, it's terrible. Yeah,
it wasn't good, as I say. And like I said, that's probably the only competition Groundsy kind of had, and it would have been interesting to see if Royce kind of stayed fit.
Yeah.
What would have happened, or if it would have kind of elevated Groundsy to push on again. But like I say, yeah, probably the only one that I can remember that kind of pushed Groundsy a little bit for his place.
Yeah. So let's go into midfield now then. So we're doing 4-3-3, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to go for two holding midfielders in David Davis and Keefton Bell. Keeft. Two unbelievable people to start off with, and two great players to play with as well, especially as I'd say that's not the side of the game I like really well, getting like about the pitch, stuck in, getting a foot in. They were amazing for that. To play alongside either of them in the midfield was really good. So yeah, I'm going to stick them two in there.
Exactly what we need now as well in the team. You know, for these head, but yeah, no, two good holding midfielders there. And let's start on the left then. So you're going to three behind the striker.
Yeah, so I'll go just in front of them two, just at the number 10 position. I'm going to go John Terrell.
Yeah, he was quality, wasn't he, that season on loan?
John Terrell was amazing. Like I say, that season he came in, he was unplayable at times. Such a gifted footballer, easy on the eye. He could do things you could only dream of with a football. So, he was amazing. He was a special player. Yeah,
and then should we go left next?
Yeah, we'll go left. Another tough one. I've put this player in just to get him in the team, if I'm honest. Again, I want Jack Smagoma, another amazing player. I just felt I had to get Shea Adams in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Shea Adams on the left.
Okay. He played there a couple of times, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Like I say, he was asked to do a job out there sometimes, and he did amazing for us. he was just one of them players. When Gary brought him in, you thought he's going to go far. When I first saw him, he had everything. He had power, pace, strength, left foot, right foot. He could head the ball. Like I say, when he first came in, I thought he'll play in the Premiership.
Yeah, definitely.
He was good, and he was amazing for us. So I've gone with Shea over Mags. Just
okay, yeah. And this must have been a headache. And then on the right,
again, this was the toughest one by far, because I know for a fact everyone would be like, "How have you not put Dimmy in your team?" And what a player Damari was. But I've gone with Cots.
Do you think he's exceeded do you think he's lived up to expectations, Damari Gray, in his career since he left us? Because I was expecting him to go on and be a really good regular Premier League player, but it never quite happened, did it? Really?
No. Again, another like I say, I don't speak to him. I think the last time I spoke to him, I think he played Leicester. I think it was.
Yeah. He had a decent spell at Everton. He had a decent spell at Everton for a bit.
Yeah. He was definitely one. He was he had game changing pace. Like his pace was a joke. His dribblings. Like I say, maybe you probably think he could have did more, but he's done amazing things. But him and Cots was tough. Like I say, Damari was an exceptional talent, but I've just gone for Cots just because, like I say, played with him a lot more at Birmingham, and like I said, I think Cots was really, really good for Birmingham the time I was there. Yeah,
good set piece taker, good free kick taker. Had a great right peg on him, didn't he?
His work rate was so undervalued. Like his work rate for the team was amazing.
Yeah, because he had a lot of problems going on at the time off the field as well. Which has been well documented as well. So to turn up on a Saturday afternoon and perform the way he did. If he had a lot going on off the field, then fair play to him. Well,
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, he's had kind of issues away from football and that, but no, he was good to have it around the change room. He was always a laugh and that, and the issues he had from football, it never kind of affected his performances. And so, no, I've just gone for Cots over Dimmy, just on the right. Just like I say, just because I've played with him more, and I think he performed really well for Birmingham out there.
And then up front,
again, another tough one. It was between, I could have stuck Shea up there on his own, but I thought Clayton has to go up there, and it was tough between him and Juki.
Yeah,
it was really tough between them two, but I've decided to go for Clayton.
I think as a lone striker, Clayton was definitely better as a lone striker. Juki's better with someone in like a 4-4-2.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, if we played 4-4-2, the two of them up top, or Juki and Shea up top. But I think because I've gone 4-2-3, I think I just went for Clayton's amazing player.
Run his heart out for us, didn't he?
Absolutely. And the way, obviously, we were quite an counter-attacking team under Gary, sitting in deep, hitting teams on the break with pace, and like say you could clear a ball up to Clayton and it'd be 70-30 in their favour, and he'd get something from it.
Get something from it.
Yeah, he was a willing runner, team player, and I think he just fitted Gary's system absolutely perfect. I loved playing with Clayton. Like I say, you could put the ball in the channel, and like I say, nine times out of 10 strikers wouldn't get there, but Clayton would make something out of it and make you look half decent. But like I said, another great lad as well. So I've just gone for Clayton.
Yeah. And captain and manager?
I think no surprise. Manager is Gianfranco's. No, I'm only joking.
Viewing figures have just dropped.
I just got the beep.
Manager is obviously Gary Rowett, and captaincy, obviously, captain the most times I played with him was Morrow.
No, it's a really good. That is, thanks for doing that. So, Alan, I'll come on to you next. You got anything you want to ask Stephen yourself?
In my search for your goals for us, which I couldn't find because I probably spelt your name wrong. I spelled it with a V.
Yeah,
He scored a wonder goal against Mexico for Ireland.
Yeah.
Right.
Who was the manager of that team?
So Martin O'Neill was the manager, and Roy Keane was assistant.
Right. Well,
Ireland.
you as a Birmingham City player getting picked by Martin O'Neill, you ought to have a special medal.
Yeah.
Special medal made for you for that. So well done for that. Yeah, that was I watched. I'd not seen that before. What an absolute cracker. Unfortunately, you lost 3-1. Did you?
Yeah, we did lose, but like I say,
was that in the Aztec Stadium?
it was. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the World Cup might be getting held there in America.
Yeah.
I think that the World Cup final might be getting held there. Yeah, so it's something I can say I've scored in a World Cup final stadium.
Someone's asking here. Sorry, it was I've left it off my screen. Oh yeah, Robert Robbins is asking, what's the best atmosphere you've experienced as a Blue when you played for us? What was the best atmosphere you played in?
Obviously, the kind of derbies at home were amazing. The Wolves, I think we played West Brom in the Cup one year. Obviously, the Villa game was something that I'll never ever forget. But I absolutely love the away games with Birmingham. Yeah. There's something special about that away crowd. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I touched on it. We had some amazing games at Fulham, and I don't know what it is about Fulham, but the away support at Fulham is always unbelievable. It's unbelievable everywhere you go, but something always sticks out to me just at Fulham. I don't know what it is, if they make a day of it and go down to London for the day, get on the piss for the day, or what it is, but it's just unreal atmosphere down there. But it'd be the home games against obviously the Villa, West Brom in the Cup, Wolves, and every away travel was always special.
Yeah. It's also 52 years today since our club crest was created as well by a gentleman called Wood.
Oh,
he
right, okay.
entered a competition, didn't he, in 1972, Alan?
Yeah.
Do you remember that, yes?
Yeah, he entered a competition, didn't he? And he won it, didn't he? And that was his... he created the best badge in football.
It's got to be the best badge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, and I mourn the loss of the city emblem, but it's over the 52 years, it's grown on me, I must admit.
Craig, I'm going to come on to you next, Craig. So what we do now, Stephen, before we come on to the Who as well. You know when we make subs at St Andrews and all the fans go Who?
Yeah.
So we have a little section of the show called that. Actually, Chris, have you got that ready now?
I've got it ready. Yeah. Actually.
So what we're going to do now, Stephen, is we're going to play a player that you've played with, talking, and we want you to tell us who it is.
Yeah. Simple as that. Here we go. Hopefully.
Not just me, obviously. The team was brilliant today, and even when we went down to 10, I thought everyone dug in for the last 10 minutes. It felt longer, but team performance. Obviously, I'm not going to take just credit for it, but obviously, I'm delighted as well. So yeah.
Absolutely no idea.
Want it again?
Let's play it again.
Yeah.
Here we go. Coming up.
Not just me, obviously. The team was brilliant today, and even when we went down to 10, I thought everyone dug in for the last 10 minutes. It felt longer, but team performance. Obviously, I'm not going to take just credit for it, but obviously, I'm delighted as well. So yeah.
Not easy.
He only played a handful of games on loan, and he did score for us in the one game.
Position?
Centre half.
And if anybody on the shout box got an idea,
Yeah,
please,
anyone got any on the
please
shout
shout
box?
up, 'cause it's,
If our viewers got any idea?
Yeah, because it's not an easy one. That one.
I don't make them easy. I could easily have played like Matt Talking, couldn't I? You'd have got that in like 4 seconds.
The only two I can think of is either Rob Kiernan or Arl Jenkinson.
You don't need to say any more, mate. That
It's
first
spot
name
on.
you said is spot on.
Was it Rob Kiernan, yeah?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did sound a bit like him, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
yeah. We had. I don't know if Robbo's still watching, but we had him going for ages on here with Wes Thomas. Honestly, he couldn't.
Frozen.
So you've done pretty well there, mate. Who did we have for Morrow now? Can you remember? I think he got it as well straight away, more or less.
I can't remember.
It wasn't Grounds, was it?
I can't remember. No. It would have been somebody harder than that. Oh, no, it was Conor Mahoney, weren't it?
Conor Mahoney, yeah.
Stephen, yeah. So Craig, we got Craig's quickfire questions. So a few quickfire questions for you, mate, from Craig.
Yeah.
Unless you've got any other questions you want to ask yourself first, obviously.
Far on, Craig.
I was going to say, a few of the normal ones, but I've chosen a few of the different ones. So, firstly, did you have to perform an initiation song when you joined the Blues, and if so, what was it?
Yeah, it was "Stand By Me," the song. I don't know who sings it, and it was
Benny King.
And it was in Ireland on pre-season training under Lee Clark. So yeah, up in front of the whole squad, fake mic out, and 30, 35, 40 seconds of singing that song in front of everyone, which was more terrifying than playing in front of St Andrews.
What was your best and worst subject at school?
Obviously, best was probably PE, and my worst was between maths and geography.
If you was a boxer or a darts player, what would be your walk-on tune?
Oh. Good one, that, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be "Zombie" by the Cranberries.
Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout, that is.
Yeah.
That's a great track.
That's a great song, that is. Yeah, look that.
Yeah. It is.
Can somebody explain that to me?
No.
Go on, Alan.
Hey? I said, can somebody explain that to me?
It's just a good track, Alan.
It's a song by
Yeah.
By who?
Cranberries.
The
Cranberries.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Trust me.
Have a listen to it. It's good.
It's good.
Have a listen to it, Al.
I will.
Put your gramophone on, wind it up, and have a listen.
If you weren't a footballer, what would you have been?
Oh my God. I don't know. I'd like to think I'd be involved in sports somehow. I don't know if PE teacher or coaching or something. Like I say, wasn't very good at school. Left school quite early. Not a lot of qualifications. So I'd like to think it'd be something along the lines of PE teacher or coaching in sports.
So you didn't leave school thinking you were going to do something. You hadn't got something in mind when you left school then.
No, I left. Like I say, I left school at 15.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe over here it's just after your A levels.
Yeah.
You can go on to sixth form or whatever. Back there, it's like you do your junior cert and then you aim for leaving cert. I did my junior cert, failed, but I knew I was coming over to Wolves with kind of a 2-year scholarship and a 1-year professional.
No, nobody will answer that question ever better than Peter Crouch did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He said, I'm going to be a jockey.
Yeah. Go on, Craig, sorry.
Last two. In terms of footballing, you've mentioned obviously some of your sporting heroes, but who's your sporting hero outside of football?
Oh, that is a tough one. You've got me on this one.
You follow any other sports?
No, literally. Football. Sporting hero outside football.
So you went into boxing or anything like that? No?
I'd watch it, but I'm just trying to think back then. I think I was just fully focused on
football.
Do you want about golf? Like golf,
yeah.
If you like.
Yeah, played the golf and that. But are we talking now or back then?
Anytime.
Anytime.
Yeah, obviously you look at kind of the likes of Rory McIlroy and that, Padraig Harrington, obviously being from that side. In the golf was, Barry McGuigan as well, the boxer. I used to watch his fights when I was younger as well. So, yeah, probably some of them.
Yeah,
finally. I think I don't know if you're obviously big boxing fans, but I think Katie Taylor, the women's boxer out of Ireland, is such an inspiration. She's amazing. Obviously, you got the likes of Conor McGregor as well back there doing good for the UFC and that. So, yeah, there's so many that are doing so well and representing our country so well at the moment. But yeah, it'd be something out there.
And then finally, it's the last minute, and there's a penalty. It's for your life. Who's going to take it?
Oh, anyone. Yeah, I'm Team Ronaldo, so I'll probably let Ronaldo take it.
Good job I didn't ask the Messi and Ronaldo question then, innit, Paul?
Yeah, I've answered both of them there. So yeah, I'm Team Ronaldo.
Who's three quick questions from me? Who's the best player you played with the Blues? And who's the best player you played with at Ireland? And who's the best player you've ever played against?
So Blues, best player I played with.
Tough one.
Just off the top of my head, probably the one that springs to mind, probably John Terrell.
Yeah, that season he was pretty good, wasn't
Yeah, that season he came in, he was amazing. Like I say, I'm probably been put on the spot here a little bit, but he's the one that springs to mind.
Yeah.
The most. For Ireland, probably be Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie Keane. Yeah, so yeah, he was an amazing footballer, amazing finisher.
Yeah,
one of the all-time kind of greats, especially coming from our country. But I was fortunate enough to play against Steven Gerrard, so it'd probably have to be him.
Yeah, wow. He was just class, wasn't he?
He was. Talk about levels of football, like that's just different levels, like players.
Yeah, definitely. Lily Pad asked earlier, what is your pre-match meal?
It's changed over the years, but it always kind of has eggs in it somehow. So it'd be either scrambled egg on toast, or I might have an omelette on toast, or it's something along them lines. But it changes kind of what I fancy on the day.
When you're eating that about 1 p.m. for a 3 p.m. kickoff, something like that? Or is it
no, we'd be eating that about 11, half 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then kind of when you're getting to the ground, 1, half 1, then you're talking energy bars and your Jaffa cakes, your bananas, oranges and all that. But your pre-match is early-ish. It's kind of like a late breakfast.
Yeah.
It's a bit like us before we came on here, isn't it? Really, that's what we.
Yeah.
Well, the Jaffa cakes definitely springs.
We have Cadbury cream eggs.
Mark,
chocolate milk, mate.
Mark, have you got me on player cam? I actually did have a cream egg before I came on this show.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other questions, Chris, for Stephen?
I'm just going back. Michael wants to know: is there a time limit on quick fire questions? I'm not going to ask him that one. Who did you enjoy tackling the most? Said Robert Robbins.
In training or in games?
In games.
Let's do both.
Yeah.
In training, I always used to enjoy tackling. I think is it Diego Fabrini?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because he was so skillful and I could never get near him. And the times I did get near him, I really enjoyed tackling him as well. So he was one I always kind of liked to be a bit hard with in the tackle. In games, kind of, I don't know. I think when we played Villa, it was anyone. Anyone.
Right answer.
Yeah, so yeah, the game's kind of tough. There's not one I can kind of pin out, but Diego in training, my God, it was hard to get the ball off him. He needed his own ball, so it was always nice to kind of leave one in on him.
Yeah. Who was the funniest and most intelligent players at Blues?
Funniest, like I say, it was a good dressing room, really, really good dressing room. I think Digger had a really good personality. He never in a bad mood. like I say, I was probably 4 out of 5 days in a bad mood. So having people like that, Digger was great around the dressing room. Cots was good. Like I say, Morrow, Shots, just good lads. I got on really well with Caddy. Caddy was funny.
Yeah.
Even Thomas, like big Polish, 6 foot whatever. He had his days as well where he was absolutely hilarious. So no, we had, honestly, I cannot tell you, we had an amazing dressing room on the Gary.
Yeah.
Really dressing room, and most intelligent. I'm going to say probably Morrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love that.
Well, he used to dress smart, so that's all I'm going off. He used to, so, like I say, he could be thick as 2 planks, I don't know, but he dressed smart. So
I was going to be chuffed at that.
He's got a bit on the guitar as well, hasn't he? I've seen a clip of Jukey playing the guitar.
Yeah, he's amazing on the play. Absolutely amazing. It was weird because we didn't kind of find out to kind of late. I think he'd been at the club probably 18 months before we actually knew. And he did it on one pre-season tour, and yeah, he was amazing, unbelievable.
Brilliant. Really. Yeah, Alan, back to you, mate. Any more you want to ask?
Can I just say we've only got a couple of minutes, so, and we've got two games for predictions, haven't we? Before we come back, but also I need to a massive shout out to all the new existing and coming up OSCs as well. The supporters groups, and that was just absolutely loads now, isn't it, Craig?
There is. So we've got, firstly, everybody now, it is live. So for those that follow the club across all the social media streams, and also be coming up on your emails, but we are now live with the Birmingham City official supporters clubs. They are spread across the world. So we've got groups over in Australia, America, Nigeria, Korea.
Saudi Arabia.
We've got Spain. We've got the Canaries. We really are across the world.
Warrington.
We're currently sitting at 41. So there's already an increase since we last discussed these. It's dead easy. Dead easy to sign up. Doesn't cost anything either for the first part of the setup. And you'll see lots of benefits that go through for both members and also the branches. Nice and simple. On the club's website and across their socials, you will see the announcement. And as part of that, there is a really straightforward click here link. All you have to do is register your details. So it's your name, it's your address, it's your date of birth, and it's also your contact details. It's purely kept for the club's purposes and ourselves, so that we can see who it is that's registered with us. And also as groups, as we become more mature, we will have get-togethers, and there will be fundraising and various different things going on. In fact, you'll see some people are already signed up to run the 10K in Birmingham. So, watch out for a few more things. But, dead easy. 5 minutes, that's all it takes. Go in,
fantastic,
sign yourselves up, and let's get this moving, because it's a really exciting time, and this is the beginning of a massive journey for everybody involved. Huge shout out to the OSC HQ. They have been fundamental in setting this up, and I know there's been a hell of a lot of work and telephone calls going on between the club and them. So Suck and Port Delves, huge kudos, and thanks a lot for all of your work. But that also is for all the others that are involved as well. So any problems with signing up, reach out to myself, and we'll see what we can do to get that sorted. But get signing up, and let's get these numbers up, and let's look forward to some great stuff on the OSC.
Excellent. So in this order, then QPR and Preston coming up. I'll leave it with you, Craig. Go on. What do you think?
I think we're going to see a bit under Gary, and
we've gone underwater.
Yeah.
Gone underwater.
It's sinking.
Oh, I'm not going.
There you go.
I'm back. So I think we'll see a draw, and I'll go for 1-1 on Friday. and then I think we'll beat Preston on Monday. I just feel as though that positivity will be spreading into to all the players. We're already seeing it from all of the clips and everything else. And put it this way, I don't think they'll be going into the dressing room and not listening to people, because I just get the feeling there'll be some rockets up people's backsides. And we've got nobody better than Robbo in that changing room for doing that. So, yeah, draw on Friday, positive 2-0 I'll go for against Preston.
Go on,
so
Alan.
1-1 Friday.
Alan? Wake him up.
Now that Gary's come in, anything's possible. So I'm going to go our usual 1-0 at QPR, and the Preston one. I think will be the tougher of the two, but I fancy us to nick it. But that. If there's going to be one of them drawn, that'll be it.
Mark?
I'm going to say 1-1 on Friday. I think we'll get a good point on Friday. And I think we'll scrape it 2-1 against Preston. Yeah.
I think. What do you reckon, Paul?
I reckon we'll draw 0-0 at QPR. Just like Rowett's first time he came. I reckon we'll do it again 0-0. And then I reckon we'll win 2-1 against Preston at home. Stephen, what do you reckon, mate?
Go on, Steve.
And if you come to the game on Monday, next week as well, you can watch UB40 after. If you didn't know that,
yeah, you might be forced to.
You reckon, mate? We got QPR away Friday, and then we got Preston at home on Bank Holiday Monday.
That's me, yeah.
Yeah, go on, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think it's a tough 1-0 win away at QPR. And I think, like said before, I think the Preston one is going to be tougher. I think 4 points out of 2 games. I think beat QPR away 1-0, and I think it'd be 1-1 on the Monday.
That'll do, though. 4 points out of the next 6 won't be bad at all, will it? It'd be a good start for Gary and get us sort of hopefully pull us away a bit. Well, it will, won't it? Because we'll beat QPR, wouldn't we? So
be excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There we go then, Paul.
Got the final whistle.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, so we've been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Small Affordable Cars. I've been Paul Hipkiss, and it's good night from me, and it's good night from Chris Browne.
And it's good night from me, it's good night from Alan Watton.
And it's a good night from me, and a good night from Mr. Fixer Craig.
And it's a good night from me, and do I have to say it, but it's a good night from Robe.
It's a good night from me, and it's a good night to our guest, Stephen Gleeson.
Hi, guys.
Who you got next, Stephen? Who are you playing next?
We're playing a team called Needham Market. They're actually top of the league on Friday, and then we have I forget who we have on the Monday, but we're doing Friday, Monday this week. So yeah, it'll be tough 2 games. Yeah.
Good luck in them games.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.
Stephen, brother, who says you're still miserable?
Always.
Right, will you get any eggs in prison?
I might do. They'll probably be poached.
No chocolate in Coventry.
I'll work on it though.
If your friends could get you some. Oh, you haven't got any, that's fine.
I'm sure somebody will send me some.
We off?
We're off.
We're off. Yeah. Did you enjoy that, mate? Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, it was really